When did you snap at a teacher for ignoring bullying? I spent 3 years telling Mrs. Harrell about the bullying before I finally lost it and screamed at her in front of the whole class. The popular kids at my middle school had this thing called the Mikey touch, like the cheese touch from that Diary of a Wimpy Kid book, but specifically about me. If you talked to me or even looked at me too long, you'd get infected and have to pass it on to someone else. The only way to get rid of it was to push someone into me during passing period or throw something at my head during lunch. Their parents ran the parent council and basically funded every fun thing our school did. Field trips to Six Flags, new jerseys for the basketball team, the spring carnival everyone looked forward to. Mrs. Harrell knew if she punished Brianna or Amy or any of their crew, then their parents would pull funding and she'd have to explain to the principal why the 8th grade Washington, D.C. trip got canceled, so she did nothing. Every single time. When they dumped my backpack in the toilet, she said maybe I shouldn't leave it unattended. When they created a group chat called Reasons Mikey Sucks and added the whole grade except me, she said kids will be kids. When they told everyone I had lice and made people scoot their desks away from me, she suggested I try being friendlier. The day I snapped started normal enough. I got to homeroom early like always because the hallways were safer when they were empty. Put my stuff down and went to the bathroom. When I came back, my pencil case was gone. Not a big deal, except it had my house key in it, and I knew I'd get in trouble for losing it again. I told Mrs. Harrell someone took my pencil case. She sighed and said, Mikey, you need to keep better track of your things. That's when I saw Valerie playing with my house key across the room, twirling it on her finger and smirking at me. I pointed at her and said, she has it right there. Look, Mrs. Harrell glanced over for half a second. I don't see anything. Please sit down. Valerie started laughing and tossed my key to Tyler, who put it in his mouth and pretended to swallow it. The whole class was watching now. Some kids were recording on their phones. I felt my face getting hot and my hands starting to shake. Please just get my key back. I need it to get in my house. My voice was already cracking. Mikey, that's enough. If you lost your key, that's a you problem. Take your seat. Mrs. Harrell didn't even look up from her computer. Tyler spit my key out onto the floor and kicked it under the radiator. Valerie said loud enough for everyone to hear, guess she's sleeping outside tonight. Maybe she'll finally shower. That's when 8 years of built-up rage exploded out of me. I stood up so fast my chair fell backwards and screamed, you're pathetic. Mrs. Harrell finally looked at me, but I was already going. I told her about every single thing they'd done while she sat there pretending not to see. The time they put glue in my hair so my mom had to cut it all off. The day they convinced the lunch lady I'd already eaten and couldn't get a second tray. How they made up the Mikey touch so I hadn't had a friend in 3 years. You know what they do to me every single day and you don't care because their mommies and daddies pay for your stupid field trips. I was full on sobbing and yelling at the same time. You tell me it's my fault I have no friends when they literally made a disease out of my name. You're supposed to protect us, but you're just a coward who cares more about money than kids. The room was dead silent except for my heavy breathing. Mrs. Harrell's face was bright red. She pointed at the door and said, principal's office. Now. Nobody backed me up. Not one person said, yeah, she's right, even though they'd all seen it happen. I got 3 days of in-school suspension for disrespect and disrupting class. But I didn't care, because not long after, Mrs. Harrell's husband left her and posted this long expose on Facebook on why he was taking the kids from her because of how she'd neglect her family to watch TLC shows all day. Basically a long paragraph about her not bouncing on it anymore.